Well, hello there. My name is Tim Burt, and this is going to be a rare blab for me because I'm not actually going to talk solely about business and or advertising. But what I will talk about tonight is 5 simple things that you can do that I just jotted down that will improve your status and your standing on Blab. Now, one of them would be to have good lighting. I don't have all my lights set up, which is why I kind of look like, I don't know, I'm in like a alley or something. But anyway, I apologize for that. Quick story. Last night I was on Blab. I jumped in a Blab, and this was a group of inventors. And one of the, very, very, very successful inventors too. 3 of them were anyway. One person was the lady that invented the thing called the snap-on screw. It's an eyeglass repair thing. Another woman created something called CoverMade. It was a bed thing. I don't know, something you put on your bed. And another guy who invented like 800 things, or I don't know what it was. And then there was a moderator. Well, it was just those 4 people on the screen, and then me and one other person. And I asked a question about please describe for me the difference between a utility patent and a provisional patent. And guess what? They never answered the question. After 20 minutes, I guarantee you, you wouldn't have sat there that long. I, for some reason, did. I was hoping that they would answer that question. So if you got a piece of paper and a pen, write this down. All right, I'm going to give you 5 quick, simple things. Yes, Dennis, don't answer questions. Killer number 1. Absolutely. We'll get to that in a minute. Here are 5 simple things that you can do if you want to get business off a Blab. If you don't have these 5 things covered, you can forget it. You might as well just sit there and watch people talk. Don't even host a Blab because it's not going to do you any good. All right, here we go. Number 1, audio quality. Make sure you have a good microphone. I don't care if it's a USB microphone. I have a professional microphone. It's an AKG. This is a very expensive microphone because I'm in broadcasting. Okay, so I need this, but I have it hooked up through my system. So that's why you can hear me so well. Okay, make sure you get your audio right, because I'm going to tell you right now, how many times have you sat on a Blab where somebody's talking, or they've got those stupid Apple headphone things in, and all of a sudden it sounds like, and they're giving you some great piece of information, and then the moderator has to say, "I'm sorry, could you repeat that, because your microphone kind of..." And get your audio right. People, please, my God, just do that for the sake of humanity. Number 2, please make sure you have a stable internet connection, because there's nothing worse than sitting on a Blab, especially with somebody that's dispensing really, really good information, and all of a sudden they turn into a bunch of pixels, or they freeze, and all that stuff. My God, that drives me nuts. Please make sure you have a good internet connection. I don't care if you have to beg, borrow, or steal it, because if you're not connected, you're not connected. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? All right. If you're just joining us, thank you. My name's Tim Burt, and I'm giving you 5 simple, quick tips to improve your Blabs. And hopefully you can make some money with these. Number 3, if you are going to join a Blab, if let's say you are visiting, right? You want to increase your stature. You want to make people think, or you want to give the impression that you know what you're talking about. If you're going to jump into a Blab about something, ideally, I can only speak for me, but ideally, I want to be able to at least jump in and offer something to the host or the show or the program, right? So make sure your commentary is smart. Make sure you have a good question. Make sure you don't just get on there and go, yeah, were you talking about the one thing? Dude, pay attention. Pay attention. Smart commentary. Write that down. If you're visiting, smart commentary. And conversely, you could do a slash with that. If you are going to host a Blab, make sure it's something that people actually want to hear and or see. Okay? Does that make sense? And again, this is going to be a very quick Blab, and thank you for joining me last minute. Number 4, this is what I talk about in my seminars. One of my tips that I give in the world of advertising. Use this as a kind of an overriding theme. Don't brag comma, help. All right, so just write that down. Don't brag, comma, help. Okay? Because nobody wants to get on there and get on Blab and say, oh, I've done this and I've done that and I'm so awesome and I'm super cool and I've won all these awards and people love me and I have lots of money and I blah, 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 blah. Have an agenda, stick to it. Amen, Dennis. Amen. Have an agenda and stick to it. It's one thing if you want to sit there and talk about your accomplishments and your credibility, that builds up your stature. Absolutely. But this, I was having lunch with, Justin Bieber the other day. Dude, nobody cares. Nobody cares unless you're talking about, blag equals brag equals sucks. Yeah, absolutely. Don't brag, comma, help. The final tip I'm going to give you tonight, and it goes back to my initial opening statement. Acknowledge your guests. If they ask a question, acknowledge your guests. Tell that, look, if you're right in the middle of a conversation or you're right in the middle of a topic, say, look, hey, you know what, Dennis, thank you so much for the content or for the comment and the question. I'm going to get to it here in just a minute. Let me finish my thought. If the people on that Blab that I was on last night would have done that, I would have stuck around. But yet I sat there and listened for 20 minutes while they all sat there and told their life story of, I was born in a outhouse and ate ants for dinner and now I'm swimming in a gold swimming pool or whatever. In radio there's a term, don't bore us, get to the chorus. Okay, same thing on Blab. If you want to sit around and talk and chat with all your friends, fine, but if you're going to do something business related, man, exactly, Dennis is right again. Be bright, be brief, be gone. Amen, brother. So if you just joined this Blab, which I'm going to end here in just a minute, unless somebody has a question or another thought. Here are my 5 tips again. Number 1, make sure your audio quality is good. Number 2, make sure you have a stable internet connection. Number 3, offer smart commentary. Or if you're going to host a Blab, make sure it's something people that are going to tune in and listen to and hopefully join in. Number 4, don't brag, help. And number 5, acknowledge your guests. Is it that hard? I don't think it is. But if you're on here, I thank you for joining me. Very, very impromptu. Tyson is here, and Dennis is here. I was on one of Dennis's Blabs. I was on a Blab with Dennis last night. Thank you guys for being here. This is being recorded, so you can go back and watch me yell at you again if you'd like. Dennis says, excellent. Thank you, Dennis. I really appreciate the comments there. If anybody has anything else they'd like to ask or answer, hey, you know what? You got me live. This is a really good chance because normally I don't do this. Thanks for this content. It's great. Less Doing Coach says, wow, that's an interesting name. Less Doing Coach. I'd like to do less. I mean, really. And people, it's funny, real quick before I go, people say, what do you do for a living? I always say, well, I try to do as little as possible, but it doesn't always work out that way. I mean, really, don't we all? I mean, kind of. We would like to. But anyway, you want to find out more about me, Dennis is Audio's boss. You want to find out more about me, commercialprofessor.com, commercialprofessor.com. My name is Tim. Those are 5 tips for you to make money. And you know what? Not drive away people on Blab. I'm Tim. Thanks for watching. See ya.